Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is Arlecchino, King of Cards, and today we're going to be doing something a bit different to what I said we were going to be doing. I know I said we'd be doing a hand trap tier list followed by a deck tier list, but I'm waiting until a few of the events going on at the moment pass, and then I'm going to do that, so it is on the way, I promise. But today we're going to be looking at something a bit retro. We're going to be looking at a Prank Kids deck profile. Obviously, Prank Kids isn't as good as it used to be, but I found a list that works pretty well, and I'm hoping to take it to locals soon and test it out. So we're going to be going over that. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. Remember to like and subscribe if you want more, but let's get into it. So to start with, obviously we're going to be doing 3 of all the Prank Kids. Now, Prank Kids only have 4 monsters in the main deck, and you're going to need to run all 4 of them for the consistency, because we used to have lots of 1-card starters when we had Meow Meow Mew unbanned, but since it got banned, we unfortunately do need to be running 3 of every starter for maximum consistency. So they all do the same thing. They don't do anything on normal summon, but when they're sent to the graveyard as material for a fusion or link summon of a Prank Kids, you can special summon a Prank Kid monster from your deck or hand, but each of them have extra effects. So Roxy's, you can banish a card from your hand and draw 1. Dropsies, you gain 1,000 life points. Fansies, you send a Prank Kid from deck to grave. And Lampsies, your opponent takes 500 life points. So they've all got different effects. Lampsies is obviously good for time, so is Dropsies, but you really do need to be running 3 of all of them. I do really like seeing all of them, and Fansies is a Thunder, so make a note of that, it'll be coming up later. Now let's move on to the hand traps. So to start off with, just going to move the Prank Kids over there. We're going to be having 3 of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Brilliant hand trap, always has been, always will be. Just stops your opponent searching, summoning from deck, or sending a card from the deck to the graveyard. Brilliant card. Next we're going to have 3 Nibiru the Primal Being. Let me just turn up the light a little bit so that it's a little bit brighter. So yeah, we're going to be having 3 Nibiru the Primal Being. Absolute amazing card. Stops your opponent in their tracks a lot of the time, especially against Malice. And against Ryziel, actually. And then we're going to have 2 Droll and Lockbird. This card is really good in this format. A lot of people are adding from their deck to their hand a lot of the time. So I do think Droll is a necessary hand trap. I would be running 3 if I knew where I'd put the 3rd one. But yeah, that is just my basic hand trap lineup. Obviously we're going to have Impermanence, but that is in my traps. So yeah, that is it for the monsters. Oh no, it's not. I stand corrected. I forgot about this. Don't know how. It's my favourite part of the deck. Here's the goo. The little secret that I'm running is 2 Thunder Dragon Matrix. You discard it, target a Thunder monster you control, it gains 500 attack, and that's the only effect we're really going to be looking at. You discard it, target a Thunder monster you control, it gains 500 attack. Fansies is Thunder. Battle Butler is Thunder, so you can use it to OTK, but that's not really what we're going to be using it for. Now, some of you may be going, oh, okay. But for those who don't really understand what I'm implying, just wait and see. This is necessary. I'm also thinking about running 2 of Thunder Dragon Dark. I am considering maybe expanding the Thunder Dragon package. Not sure if I will just yet, but all I'm running is the 2 Dragon Matrix at the moment. Obviously, I don't draw it as much as I'd like to, but like I said, I may consider a bigger Thunder Dragon package, and if I do, I'll make a video on that. Now, let's move on to the spells. So to start off the spells, we are obviously going to be running 3 of our Prank Kids Place, a beautiful secret rare that I recently picked up, because it is our main searcher, a brilliant card. When it's activated, add a Prank Kids from deck to hand. Once per turn, if you fusion summon a Prank Kids monster, all monsters you control gain 500 attack. Once per turn, if you link summon a Prank Kids link monster, you can have all monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack. Brilliant card. It allows you to, 1, add a Prank Kids, which is brilliant at the moment. But the second reason that this card is amazing is the adding attack and losing attack for your opponent may not seem like brilliant effects off the bat, but this deck really needs to chain block its summons, as you need to get your graveyard effects to summon from deck, and that is exactly what this card does. It chain blocks everything for you, because you go, say I fusion summon, so I'll do chain one of the things in grave, chain 2 one of the things in grave, chain 3 this, and the chain is blocked, so now my opponent cannot interrupt me, which is beautiful. Next, we are running 3 of Prank Kids Pandemonium. Now, this is one of the cards that you wouldn't have run 3 of back in the day. It is just a fusion spell. and then for the rest of the turn after it resolves, you cannot normal or special except Prank Kids. Now back in the day, you would have just run one of that, but because of the fact that we are lacking consistency, because we can't link one anymore, we need the 3 Pandemonium because we need to fusion summon start our combo. So it is necessary to be running this card at 3, unfortunately, even if it locks out of our Thunder Dragon Matrix combo that I will show you in my next video. But yeah, that is why we're running 3 of that card. Next, we got the 1 Prank Kids Pranks. It just summons a token, but you have to discard a Prank Kids. Not as good as it used to be because you're not really seeing your Prank Kids in hand because you need to use 2 off your combo or use 2 on the link combos. But it also means that at the end of the turn, you shuffle 3 back and draw a card, which is brilliant because you can draw into hand traps, you can draw into next turn follow-up. That's why this card's kind of necessary, because if you draw the Pandemonium off the bat, you can go into this later on when you search it off Dodo Doodle Doo. Next, we got the non-archetypal spells. We got 3 Link into the Vrains, another beautiful secret rare, plat secret this one. But so for those people that don't know how this card works, is you special summon a monster from your hand and negate its effects, then immediately after it resolves, link summon a link monster using monsters you control as material, including that monster. The link summon can't be negated, also your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when a monster is link summoned this way. If a link monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your grave, you can banish this card, add 1 monster from your grave to the hand with the same original type as one of those destroyed monsters. So this card seems a bit weird, a bit janky, but how it works is you normal summon one of your Prank Kids and you special summon the other with Link into the Vrains and you link them off and you get your combo started now that we don't have the link 1. Or you can use Pandemonium to start your fusion plays. But this card is really brilliant as well because they can't respond to the link summon, which is amazing for Dodo Doodle Doo because you need your Dodo Doodle Doo, bit of a mouthful, to resolve. So you go chain 1 your prank, chain 2 your prank, chain 3 Dodo Doodle Doo, and then because of Link into the Vrains, your opponent cannot respond to it, meaning it does not get interrupted. So that is a brilliant card. You really need to be running it. Next, we're running 2 of Poly, just a fusion spell. You know, I don't think I really need to explain this. You're playing a fusion deck, you need fusion spells. Next, we got 2 of Pot of Desires, because basically everything in this deck is a 3 of, as you've seen, 3/3/3, all the monsters are 3s. You can really afford to lose your main deck, so Pot of Desires we're running, you know, it's just a quick draw 2, and it's not once per turn, so if you do, it is, but not once per duel. So if you do want to use it multiple times, I guess you can, wouldn't recommend it. But beautiful card. It doesn't really matter when you banish stuff. I would really recommend running the Pot of Desires in this deck because you don't really want to get rid of your extra deck in this deck because it's so vital to you. So Desires is definitely better. Final spell, we have 1 Terraforming. Don't know if you can tell, but it is a secret rare. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful secret rare. Very discreet, which I like. As you can tell, I've got quite a thing for rarities, and you'll know that if you've watched my other videos as well. But yeah, 1 of Terraforming to search our Prank Kids place and get our combos started. I don't think I'm going to do a separate section for traps, seeing as we're only running 3, so I'll just do them now. For the traps, we have 3 of Infinite Impermanence, brilliant hand trap, and it's better than Effect Veiler as you can do it at the start of your turn. So say your opponent ends on a mega mighty board and then you top deck Imperm. You can activate Imperm and get rid of one of their interrupts, which is super strong in this game state, and I'm really glad that it's so cheap now, and I would definitely not even recommend, I think you have to be running 3 Imperm at the moment. But yeah, that is my spells and my traps for this deck. Without further ado, let's go to the extra deck. I am super excited to discuss the extra deck of this deck. It is brilliant, and I think you're really going to like it. So first, we got Totally Awesome. Now, you're probably thinking, how are you making Totally now that Bahamut Shark is banned? If we go back to the monsters in the main deck, you will see that Prank Kid Dropsies is a level 2 Aqua Monster. So 3 Dropsies makes us our Totally Awesome, which is not 2 Dropsies makes us Totally Awesome, which is amazing. Just getting an Omni Negate off our main combo is beautiful. Next, we got Sky Cavalry Centuria. It's a Xyz rank 2, cannot be destroyed by battle while it has material. At the end of the damage step, if it battled an opponent's monster, detach a material from this card and return that opponent's monster to their hand. Obviously not the best card, but I mean, you can use it as removal, just easily summon it, attack into big beaters, and then bounce them back to the hand. But yeah, that's kind of why we're running that. It's just an easy removal, but it's even easier to use for Typhon or Zeus. I chose to go for Typhon here, just because I think Typhon is overall stronger than Zeus in this format, because a lot of things have destruction protection or gain benefits when you destroy them. So I do think Typhon is the better card to be running at the moment, and now that it's so cheap as well, there's really no excuse not to be running it. So that's it for the Xyz monsters. Now we're going to move on to the fusion monsters. To start with, we got 2 Prank Kids Rocket Ride. Now, this card is a must-have for Prank Kids decks. Any old players will have known. If it's fusion summoned, you can have it lose 1,000 attack. Now, and then this turn, also it can attack directly this turn, so it goes down to 1,000, and then you can attack directly this turn. Brilliant when trying to get for game. Lampsies kind of does that better for you though, but why we really like it is that effect chain blocks your your graveyard effects. So your graveyard effects to summon from deck get chain blocked by that. As well as that, you can tribute Rocket Ride, then target 2 Prank Kids and non-fusion monsters with different name in your graves and special summon them, but they cannot attack this turn. That effect is brilliant. You can tribute it, summon 2 from your graveyard, just gives you 3 bodies, it gives you your follow-up, it lets you fusion summon more, it lets you link summon. It's a brilliant card and one that's really necessary to the Prank Kids combos. Next, we have 1 copy of Prank Kids Weather Washer. Arguably, well, not arguably, it just is. It is the worst fusion monster in the deck, but you do really need it. If your Prank Kids monster attacks, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you contribute this card, target 2 Prank Kids non-fusion monsters with different names in your grave and special summon them. They cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. That effect is brilliant. I mean, it just means that in your opponent's turn, you can quick effect tribute it in their battle phase, summon 2 Prank Kids from grave, and it just gives you protection, lets you last a bit longer, and it also lets you summon link monsters back and use their effects later on. So say I use that to summon Dododoodledoo, tribute the Dododoodledoo to add 2 back to hand. It gives you more consistency, it really unclogs your grave. Brilliant card. I really like the artwork of the entire Prank Kids archetype as well. Look how brilliant they are. Next, fusion monster, we got 1 copy of the super clean secret rare Prank Kids Battle Butler that I picked up recently. So it requires Lampseed, Dropsy. Oh yeah, so these 2 just require 2 Prank Kids, but this one requires Lampseed, Dropsies and Fansies specifically because Roxy's wasn't out when this card came out. Must be fusion summoned. Quick effect, you can tribute it, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. So we do have a quick effect Raigeki with 3,000 attack, meaning you can either use its Raigeki-like effect or just leave it as a big body on your board. But if you use Pandemonium, which is a quick play, meaning you can use it in your opponent's turn, probably should have said that, it gives you your graveyard effects of your Prank Kids monsters, allowing you to summon other things as protection. And then, if it's destroyed instead if it's sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card, you can target a non-fusion monster in your grave and special summon it. That's not a non-fusion Prank Kids monster in your grave, that's a non-fusion monster in your grave. That is a brilliant effect. You can just summon anything back, so I really would recommend this card. It's an amazing card. Obviously nowhere near as good now that Meowmeow isn't here to protect it from tributing itself. It does have to tribute itself to activate its Raigeki effect, but it's still a strong card. 3,000 attack on a fusion monster that wipes the board. What more could you ask for? Next is the spicy tech that I've been talking about. One of Thunder Dragon Colossus. Now you're probably thinking, how are you making Colossus? It must either be fusion summoned or special summoned during the turn a Thunder monster's effect was activated in the hand by tributing a Thunder effect monster on your field. Now, how are we doing that? So, activate Dragon Matrix to discard and give either Battle Butler 500 attack, or give our Prank Kids Fansies 500 attack, which is super easy to do because we're summoning lots of Fansies off our other Prank Kids, and then tribute our Fansies to summon this guy. For those who don't know what Colossus does, it's a droll. Cards cannot be added from the main deck to your opponent's hands except by drawing them, which is amazing. It basically just shuts down at most decks that need to do stuff. Malice can't add to hand, Ryzeal can't add to hand. It's going to stop a lot of decks in their tracks. Only got 2,600 attack, however, our field spell to gain 500 attack kind of relegates that. And then if it would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish a Thunder monster from your graveyard instead, so it's got protection too. Brilliant card. Oh my god, I love this card, and I love how well the synergy works with this deck. I am looking to expand my Thunder package, like I said, because I really do want to be getting the Colossus every time. At the moment, it's a bit inconsistent. I'm not really getting the Colossus because I'm only running the 2 Matrix. But if I do boost my package, like I said, that will change. Finally, the Link monsters. We got 1 of SP Little Knight, just a quick effect banish on your opponent's turn. We got Nightmare Phoenix, which, if it's link summoned, you discard, target spell trap your opponent controls, destroy it. And then if it was co-linked, you draw a card. Just always been a good card. Same with Nightmare Unicorn, exactly the same thing, except instead of destroying a spell and trap, it can bounce any card on your opponent's field, but it's a link 3. So these 2 cards have been in the game since I started playing, they've been relevant, they've been good the whole time. They're amazing forms of interrupts. If you're not running them, I really think you should be. I mean, you can run Cerberus instead, but now that Griffin's gone, these 2 are definitely the best nightmares, so I would recommend running them. Next, we got the Prank Kids Link monsters. We got one copy of Bow Wow Bark. So it takes 2 Prank Kids, and then a Prank Kids monster at points 2 gains 1,000 attack. During our opponent's turn, quick effect, tribute, target 2 Prank Kids with different names in the grave, except Link monsters, add them to our hand. Also, Prank Kids monsters we control cannot be destroyed by our opponent's card effects this turn. So, let me get this straight. This is a Link 2 that is protection, recycling, and it gives attack boosts. Okay, I will take it. End board piece, yes please. Always be getting this card on your own board. At the end of your combo, make sure you can get this. If you can't, really sucks, because this is nice to have its protection, like I said, so it's kind of vital, but it's also recycling, allowing you to do more plays in the future. Next, we have 2 copies of our Prank Kids Dodo Doodle Doo. This card is amazing, and I love it. It takes 2 Prank Kids monsters, and then if it's Link summoned, you can add a Prank Kids spell trap from your deck to your hand, so our Place, Prank, or Pandemonium, and then you can tribute it, target 2 Prank Kids cards with different names in our grave, except Link monsters, and add them to our hand. 1, the art's really amazing, it's really funny. 2, add stuff back from our grave to our hand, giving us more consistency. But 3, it adds a fusion spell. So, you summon it, add the fusion spell, use its effect to add the materials of its fusion summon back to hand, of its Link summon back to hand, and then use Pandemonium to fuse again. So, basically, it turns itself into a fusion monster. That's brilliant, I'm a big fan of it. Finally, we've got Prank Kids Rip Roar and Rip Roaster, and look how amazing this card looks in a secret rare, just like my Dodo Doodle Doo. Beautiful cards. Rip Roar and Roaster must be Link summoned, 2+ Prank Kids monsters. Quick effect, you tribute it, destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls. If this card in your possession is sent to the grave by your opponent's card, you can target 1 card in your graveyard except a Link monster, add it to your hand, and that's once per turn. So basically, it's a quick effect, Harpy's Feather Duster, that does unfortunately have to tribute itself. Now that we don't have our beautiful Meow Meow Moo, bring him back. The day Meow Meow Moo comes back is the day I become a Class A duelist. But then, if it's sent to the grave, you can target a card in your grave except a Link monster and add it to hand, which is also a beautiful effect. Mega consistency, brilliant card for the deck, and brilliant artwork, just like all the Prank Kids. Look how funny that is. They've all got the same little yellow dog running away. Poor dog. But yeah, guys, that is going to conclude our Prank Kids deck profile. Now, this deck is really fun. I do really like this deck. It's such a shame that it's not as good as it used to be. But I do think that if you can pick up these cards, you really should. They're so cheap. The entire deck cost me probably £20 altogether, which for you Americans out there is roughly $25, I think. But yeah, it's a brilliant deck. I really love it. Maybe $30. I really love this deck. It's amazing. It's so fun to play. It's fun to play as well because of the artwork. You're not looking at bland kind of, random shapes where you're going, what even is that? That you can tell what they are. They're fun, they're cute, they make people laugh, So that's one reason to be playing this deck. Another is just the inherently fun playstyle, because there's a lot of interaction for your opponent. There's a lot of thinking. I would recommend this deck. I can't recommend this deck more. Let me just put the rest of the extra deck back. But yeah, I definitely think you should pick up this deck, and if you want to know the combos and just basic test stands really, make sure to watch my next video, because I'm going to be going over them there, just talking about how to play the deck, what to be looking for, what to get on your end board. So yeah, that has been my Prank Kids deck profile for 2025. I hope you did enjoy. Now, Duelist Advance is coming out soon, and there are cards coming out for decks that I like in that, so be sure to stick around. I'll be making some post-Duad deck profiles, post-Duad combo tutorials. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see that. But I have been Arlecchino, King of Cards. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.